When I first had the idea of doing a top 10 seasonal list for fragrances back in 2009, I really felt like it was a great idea for myself and my channel. I never knew that it was going to be a staple for my channel. I've been doing seasonal lists ever since 2009 until 2018. In 2019, I decided to take a little sabbatical. So in 2019, I didn't do any top 10, top 20 seasonal lists. I'm back today, as you can see, starting again what I do best. I've been doing spring lists since 2010. I remember way back when Green Irish Tweed was #1 on that list against a whole bunch of designers. Now specifically niche list came in the year after in 2011. So since I have not released a spring niche list in 2019, you're going to see a few more new faces on this list since, of course, I didn't do one last year. So I just wanted to give you guys that warning. Now, let's get into these greens, these florals, these citruses. I'm going to let you know my favorites for 2020. YouTube fragrance family, welcome to my 2020 Spring Niche Top 20 lists. This is where I inform you of the scents that I'm excited to try out. Maybe some new fragrances that came in my collection the past couple years since I didn't do a 2019 list. So you're going to see a couple newbies here, some old staples as usual, and of course ones that I've already worn quite a bit actually since we're in the thick of things for spring here. You're going to see some new purchases on this list. As a true frag head, when I get new scents in that I've purchased that are appropriate for the particular season, you're going to see a few of these now. I get excited and I want to test them, so they are going to make this list just because of the excitement. I've smelt them, I might have had a first impression, but I want to wear them more and more. So you're going to see them in some of these lists. The true test is, of course, is it going to continue to go in my top 20 list over the years? And a good thing about my list is I've been doing this for a while. And I do put in the stats of every single fragrance that comes into play here in this 2020 that has made the list in the past year. So you're going to see some that are highly, highly decorated, some that have never left this list since I've started. Some old favorites, of course, are coming back, and others that haven't really moved the Richter scale. So they may be #4 in the past couple years and they're sticking around #4. So you're going to see a couple old favorites, old ones that maybe you should now pull the trigger in 2020. Now, before I get into the meat and potatoes of this video, please take the time to subscribe down below. Hit that bell. I love hearing that bell ding to keep tabs on yours truly, to check out my new content. I am, of course, working on my designer list, but if you're new to my channel, I'm all over the place. Indie, niche, designer. So there's a lot here on this channel to come check out. I'm also all over social media. I am on Instagram, Twitter, and of course, Facebook. You can follow me on all those platforms under my YouTube handle, Robes08. And talking about social media, I do have a Facebook page, but I also have a Facebook group called Fragrance Guru Nation. We are one of the biggest groups on Facebook. We're up to 17,600 members right now, and we're waiting for you to join us today to talk about fragrances people buy and sell. We talk about YouTubers. Some YouTubers actually post their content on that page to get more eyes on it. So definitely, if you're a frag head, come check us out at Fragrance Guru Nation. Now, before I start with #20, I did want to talk about spring and particular notes that I look out for, especially for a lot of people that are newish into this hobby. Spring to me is a tweener season. It's just like fall. So I call it tweener just because it's a really great season to continue your cold weather scents from winter. So if you're still not kind of over the darker scents, you can still wear them from time to time, especially some of them. In Canada, we get some random snow days in spring, things like that. You obviously get some overcast, some rain. You get a lot of wind, of course. So those are things that you can wear darker scents. And you're going to see some not especially darker scents here. My collection is over, I would say 1,400 bottles here. So I do have a lot in front of me that I can utilize. When I do these lists, I try to, of course, pick the ones that I'm more excited about, the ones that I feel like I'm going to wear the most during the season. but also I'm also mindful of, overlapping certain brands. So there is not too many brands that overlap each other. There is one brand like Creed that I feel spring is best for them. So you're going to see a lot more Creeds than other brands. But anyway, and then there's of course fragrances I look for that can do very well with fluctuating weather, because in Canada, usually in spring, you got cool mornings, and then it really heats up during the day, and then you get cooler nights. So I like fragrances, especially ones that I'm going to wear to work. You don't want to start wearing something a lot darker, and then midday you're just like, what's going on? I've worn too much of this. As far as this season, what do I look out for notes? I primarily utilize a lot of my heavy floral based fragrances. Now it doesn't mean just because it has a floral in the note breakdown that it means it's made for spring, but there is a lot of fragrances that, let's say the floral is the primary note, like a rose or an iris based fragrance or a lavender based fragrance. Those will work so well in spring, and you're going to see a lot of roses and irises and lavender in the spring list. Also, I love my green scents here. I don't go too heavy on citruses. I try to keep them in the summer. I'll wear them from time to time, but greens I like to wear a lot during the spring. So they come out to play: the patchoulis, the vetivers, and the mints, of course. So you're going to see a lot of mints. Actually, I think I have 3 or 4 mints in this one. Of course, there's fruity notes like plum that I look out for. So you're going to see a little more playful things. Black currant, of course, is a great note for spring. Citruses, not so much. Like I said, I like to keep those more during summer, so I don't get, it gives me kind of like a buffer zone that I don't get too bored with my citruses, because that happens to me. So this kind of gives me a chance to wear more of my florals. Florals, it's a good genre, but it's something that I don't get too excited about. Greens, of course, patchoulis, vetivers, and mints, of course. The mints, I can't wait to wear them. So those are the kind of notes that I'm looking out for when building a list like this. And for niche, that is my playground. There's a lot of fragrances that are just note-centric, that they will utilize a note like a mint or a vetiver or a patchouli or a lavender and just emphasize and give you the best quality possible. So that's where niche comes into play. So let's get into the list. Enough of this. For me, I always do this in my top 20 list, and they run like 30 minutes long. So let's see if I can try to go under 30 minutes on this one. Let's start with number 20. At number 20, again, disclaimer, this one is from a designer brand, but it's their upscale brand. I feel like brands like Christian Dior, almost every designer brand now has an upscale brand, and they can be hard to find, really hard to find, super pricey. So I put them in the niche territory just because they're not sold at every Sephora or all the stores. So price point also, not too many people are going to be purchasing these because they are a little more expensive. So that's my criteria. So you're going to see one of these right now. This is a new one to the list. It is a fragrance that I just recently purchased, I would say probably in 2020. First couple months, I think. But this one right here from the house of Carolina Herrera, this is Virgin Mint. So anybody that knows me knows that I love my mint-based fragrances. This lineup is uber hard to find, very hard to find brand or lineup, or to get samples, to even get this fragrance. It's hard. So it's one of the things that I pride myself into, is that I want to check out brands like this. And this is one of the brands that I wanted to check out. This was a blind buy for me, kind of really expensive too. Beautiful 2017 release. I think it's best for spring and summer. I think you can pull it off also in the summer. It's very thin, light. The big notes in this one would have to be the spearmint. It does its thing. Geranium too. Geranium, of course, gives out a minty-like feel to the fragrance. I feel like more of a daily wear scent, this one. Casual use. I could also wear this dressed up, just because it has an uplifting factor to it. There's not much to it that I can wear a tuxedo with that, a suit, or just jeans and a t-shirt. So it's a brand new fragrance to my list. And sometimes just being simple, and this is simple, wins. With Virgin Mint, you get some citruses with a strong mint note. Mint is, again, color of the bottle, the green, it's mint. Authentic to the T on all aspects. The citruses, beautiful. The mint, outstanding. The citruses, they're sparkling. They're uplifting, as is the spearmint. Is very uplifting, and it is the rock star of this show, and that's what I want with a name like it has mint in the name. If you like mint, just like I do, like Mount Fraiche or Geranium pour Monsieur, or going designer with a Roadster, among others, You have to check this one out. This is right up my alley. Thin, transparent, uplifting. There's not much to this composition, so that is one thing that I need to warn you. You're not going to get a lot out of it. It's very simple, straightforward, but that's what you want for spring and summer, and it just effing rocks. It really is great. This Herrera line is something to watch on my channel. I am going to talk more about this brand. I am going to talk more about, and I'm going to purchase more of these fragrances that are the more higher end. I'm not too big on their Herrera designer line that's under $100. So you're going to see more of these. I could dress this one up, down. I can wear it during the day. I can wear it at night. Rain or shine. That's what I like about this one, is that when it's really warm, it really blossoms. It does very well. Just like Fraiche, it actually thrives in the heat. But if we got some rain, mint does well, and this one does well. Versatility is the name of the game with virgin mint, and you're different than all the other guys that are wearing blue type fragrances. This one right here, excellent for spring. At number 19, staying with this theme of higher end designer releases, this is from the house of Christian Dior, their higher end lineup, of course. This is new to the list, never made the list before. I bought this last month, I think, with my splitter, so I just got a little bit of this juice, so I am going to conserve it, and that is Vetiver from Christian Dior. And this stuff, of course, a thing of legends, to be quite honest. Everybody wants to go to France and get a bottle and sell it on eBay for $700 USD. Yeah, no joke. It's nice. Again, I'm wearing this. This is my shiny brand new toy right here, Vetiver. 2010 release. It's an oldie, actually. Best season for it. Vetiver is great for spring. And this is a straight up Vetiver. Big note in it. It is Vetiver. Day or night, you can go either way. Dress it up, dress it down. I think you can either way. Again, this is on the list as the shiny new toy, so I can't wait to keep an eye on it, and you guys should keep an eye on it and see if it's going to do it every single year. Next year will be the real test. Will it return to this list? We are going to see. It's a pretty straightforward Vetiver, in my opinion. It competes against the Chanel Sycamore. That's kind of where it's going in the fragrance industry. Is it really overhyped? Yeah, a lot of people are actually talking about this a lot, like it's the next best thing. It's a straight up Vetiver, man. Like if you have Sycamore and you're looking high and low for this and you're going to pay a big premium for it, I don't know. I'm a collector, so I'm happy to have it. I'm ecstatic to have it. Am I going like crazy because I only have a little bit of juice left? Not really. It's a solid representation of Vetiver, 100%. It's green, it's rooty, it has a little bit of citruses back in it, so it gives it a little bit of depth. It's very thin as a composition, but as I said with, of course, virgin mint, simple sometimes just wins. Sometimes you just want a straight up, nice, rooty Vetiver without much distraction, and this straight up says Vetiver on the sticker, and that's exactly what you're getting on this strip here. This one is going to be a very versatile scent for me in the future, considering how much I have in the bottle. I'm probably not going to use it like it's a versatile scent. I'm going to be conserving it, but I can see myself dressing this one up, dressing this one down. I could use it as a daily driver going to work. I think it would be great for that. Vetiver is great in the rain, by the way, rain or shine, it's good. Mostly rain though. I love my Vetivers in the rain. They just work well, especially rooty ones like this. They just pop. At number 19, Vetiver from Christian Dior. At number 18, it is a returnee. So our first returnee, and this is the lowest it has been in a list on my channel. So unfortunately for MDCI's Invasion Barbare, this is its first time this low on a list. It's usually in the top 10, usually, since I've purchased this fragrance. Its best season is spring. I love this one. Big notes in this fragrance would have to be lavender and cedarwood. It really is more about the lavender here. It's very much a barbershop scent. Day or night, I feel like you can go either way with this one. I feel like a more mature man, this could be your signature scent, to be quite honest. It's very much upscale. Beautiful, beautiful scent. I believe in 2018 it made it the list. It made the top 5 at number 4 in 2018. So much of a drop here, but it's just about variety. So MDCI, of course, Invasion Barbare, I feel like it's one of those fragrances that I kind of conserve, and I really shouldn't. It just feels like it's a fragrance that I want to dress up, and I don't want to be too flashy. That's the one I'm going to go with. So it's my first returnee. It's very safe. It's very classic to me. this thing is all about the blend. I feel like the classic tone of Invasion Barbare makes it what it is. I feel like this is a man's man fragrance. A great use of lavender in this particular scent. This one is often compared to my famed Le Male, which I feel like if I'm comparing these, I would say Le Male is the MC Hammer of the fragrance game. And this is Mozart, honestly. There is no... I feel like what you read on the internet, just be careful. This is not Le Male. Dress this up, dress it down if you want to, but I mostly dress this one up. Mostly a daily driver, but can be an upscale dinner party type of scent with a tux. Yeah, you're not gonna stick out like a sore thumb. You're actually going to smell outstanding. Ooh, hey, whoa. Hey. At number 17, we have Amouage. It's the only Amouage on the list. Again, Amouage is one of those brands that there's several that could make this list. It made the list back in 2017, so it didn't make it in 2018, but it returns this year at number 17, Sunshine Man. 2015 release. Best season for it, I think, is spring. It's a tweener scent, so spring and fall. The big note in this one that I absolutely love is Immortelle. It's a floral, but it's a very dense floral. It doesn't smell like a flower. It really has some gourmand notes to the fragrance. Immortelle, a great note. This is a daytime, even, again, a lot of these are super versatile. I could dress this one up, but I like just using it casually, to be honest. Amouage, as you may know, their newer releases are built more during for spring and fall type of scents. They're getting away from their silver frankincense, their darker scents. However, their newest release, Overture Man, is a darker scent. But these are more green, floral, you're going to see, just like Sunshine Man. This is one of them that uses Immortelle in the scent, and it's one of the best uses of this floral. Amouage never disappoints to me, at least to me, as being unique, complex, and Sunshine definitely checks the marks here for a spring scent. I love wearing this one on an overcast day, which has tons of wind. It just kills it during that time. I felt like that is one of the better times that Sunshine does work. I can dress this one up if I want to, but mostly I like wearing it casually during the day. At number 17, Sunshine Man. At number 16, from the house of Tom Ford, and it is the only Tom Ford on here. And funny enough, when I was compiling this list, I noticed that Neroli Portofino continued to make this list. This year, it got bumped with this one. This is the only Tom Ford. This is Plum Japonais, and this is new to this list. Now, a little bit of a darker scent here. Again, we didn't go very thin as far as this list goes right now. I would say probably Virgin Mint is probably the only real thin fragrance here. So Plum Japonais, welcome to your first top 20 on the Robes08 channel. Best season for it is fall. It's a darker scent. The big notes in this one, plum, cinnamon. Day or night, I would have to wear this more during the night, casual use. So Neroli Portofino goes away. Again, very easy to wear, something that I don't have to think about. A great Neroli scent, very much a classic in the Tom Ford genre. When people start talking about the best Tom Ford private blends, Neroli Portofino does come into the list from a lot of members out here. So private blends usually have one slot on this list. Plum Japonais gets it this year. And it's a newer scent to me, and maybe why it came onto the list, but the use of plum here is simply outstanding. I like different fruity tones in the spring and summer. I try to stay away from the oranges and the lemons, the mandarins and all that stuff. I feel like I want to get something a little more different, and plum does it. And here, a little darker though, more of a nighttime scent for me. With this one right here, there's a slight dustiness to this fragrance. Some vanilla, some spices, of course, to warm things up. It is very much a complex scent, well composed, and I'm looking forward to trying it more in different seasons. I think fall is probably the best time for it, but I got tons of Tom Fords that are great for fall, so I'm trying to give this one a chance here in spring. For now, it did very well. At number 16, Plum Japonais from the house of Tom Ford and their private blend line. Now let's go to number 15. It is from the house of different company. This is a line, the different company, I own several from the brand. A lot of them are great for actually spring, like Celle de Vetiver that I can think of. Oud Shamash is also another one that I really, really like. But some people don't know this. A different company started out with Monsieur Jean-Claude Helena from Hermès fame. This is one of his compositions back in 2001. And this is Rose Poivree. Now this thing is a beast. One, if not the best rose-based fragrance that I own in my collection. And that's a lot to say for fragrance. The last time it made this list was actually back in 2014 at number 20. It went as high as number 8 in 2011. But the Rose Poivree at number 15 this year. Welcome back to the list. It's been 6 years. It has been a spring staple for me over the years. Just because it doesn't make a top 20 list does not mean that I don't wear it. Rose Poivree is great. The nose behind this one, Helena, of course. This is by far his best representation of rose ever that he has ever done. I'm actually going to go as far as not only is it Helena's best, but it is the best rose-based fragrance that I've smelt in my whole journey. I've never smelt the rose so authentic, and this one is authentic as it can be. The rose does have some spicy funk helping it here. It's turned into Overdrive by Helena. Now he likes to utilize cumin in some of his fragrances. I smell it here. It's very funky a little bit. It has that spice. This stuff is golden during a rainy, gloomy day. This stuff with rain shines. It is absolutely gorgeous. So if you like Helena's stuff, like I mean Déclaration by Cartier, any Hermès stuff that he's done, you need to check out Different Company and a lot of his stuff that he's done. I think this is the jewel of Different Company. Rose Poivree, a great one from Monsieur Helena. At number 15, at number 14, and we are going to go with Frédéric Malle. It's the only representation of the brand here. Frédéric Malle has a lot of great scents that are made actually for spring. This is a new fragrance to me, and you guys know I love mint, and this is Geranium pour Monsieur, 2009 release. Man, I just got this and I'm putting quite a dent in this fragrance, but welcome to the top 20 list. You deserve it. I can't believe it's taken me this long to get this fragrance in my collection. But this fragrance right here, of course, really mostly about mint and geranium, the floral. Best seasons for this spring and summer. You can wear during warm climate. I wear it. I like wearing this for work, actually. It's a daily driver for me. I can dress it up or dress it down. Doesn't matter. The only Malle in this list, however, I need to note that this is definitely one of his best. I love this one. I was actually thinking of putting Monsieur, the patchouli-based fragrance, just to mix things up. But this one right here, I love it. It's so thin. But it's so minty up top. Simply outstanding. This one right here is not the first mint on this list, and it's definitely not the last for good reason. I love the note of mint. It's such a great note for spring. It works so well in the rain, cooler spring, windy days. It works well. Dress it up, dress it down. Geranium pour Monsieur is one of the best mints in the game and deserves this slot. And I'm going to be frank with you, just because it's its first time in the spring list, don't sleep on it. Because if I'm still on YouTube for another 10 years, we're going to see a hell of a resume on this one. It's going for that top spot. It is going after Healy's Menthe Fraiche, which is my favorite mint of all time. Geranium pour Monsieur, Dominique Rapillon. You're crazy for that one. Now, next, at number 13, it is from the House of Creed. And we know, well, at least if you're a Robes08 person that checks out my stuff year after year and you take a look at these spring lists, you know there's a lot of Creeds. Silver Mountain Water, Jardin d'Amalfi, Green Irish Tweed, Sélection Verte, Green Valley. I can go on and on. Himalaya's made this list before. So Creed is a brand that is, I think, spring laden. It really is its best season. And this one right here is new to the list. It's its first time. It's new to my collection. And this one gets a lot of hate in the fragrance community. And this one's called Viking. Now, this is a 2017 release. It's new to my collection. Like I said, I'm repeating myself, but this thing got tons of hate when it got first released. And YouTube is a funny thing. You know, after 3, 4 you know, YouTubers start panning a fragrance, just everybody else parrots that. I Maybe I go against the grain just because, but I love this one. Ever since I've smelt it, it's great. It obviously utilizes mint up top, but it also utilizes lavender. So it has an uplifting feel to the fragrance up top, but it also have that barbershop lavender feel to the fragrance too. Best season for it already. I already know spring is the best season for it. It is shining for me. I feel like this is a staple for daytime use. I can wear it up, dress it up or dress it down. So casual or even dressed up in a suit. So Viking, the bad rap on YouTube, I'm not into it. I'll be honest, I'm late to the party for sniffing this. You know, it's 2020 now, and I still haven't done my my Pop the Cherry on this fragrance. It's coming up, but I haven't yet given my full first impression, but I've been wearing it, and I don't know what the other guys were smelling when they smelt this, but it's actually quite good. It has that minty, uplifting feel up top, and it teases me a little bit with that mint, but is backboned by a barbershop lavender-like feel. It really feels like a gentleman's fragrance. It has some complexity to it. It wears so well. It's killing the spring right now, and I feel Viking will do well on this channel for years to come, actually. So I can't wait to actually delve into it more and more and actually get my review out of Viking, because I feel like this one, very much underrated in our community. One that I definitely feel is going to be a good one for years to come, which is Viking. At number 12, I'm new to the list from a brand that doesn't get much press either. It's from the brand of Liquide Imaginaire, and this is Bloody Wood. Sweet name. It's got like that really red juice. Like, it kind of looks like I'm spraying blood on this thing. 2013 release, so I'm actually really late to this fragrance. Very interesting fragrance, by the way. Best season for it, I think it's one of those darker scents that I like to sprinkle in my spring list sometimes. You know, you can't just go full transparency, but Bloody Wood, mostly best for fall, to be quite honest. It has some oomph to it. Big notes in this one, red wine. Very interesting. It's got a boozy red wine. It has a cherry feel to the fragrance too. It utilizes oak as one of the woods in this fragrance. Very interesting. I feel like more of a nighttime scent, more of a rainy night, overcast night type of scent. It has a very interesting name, obviously, Bloody Wood, but the opening of this scent is just as interesting. It has kind of a metallic accord surrounded by some florals here. Slightly fruity tinge, reminds me of kind of like a jammy rose here. The oak and sandalwood here back that scent with an interesting woody take, and there's some bitterness here. Thinking of kind of like a red wine with a cherry twist to the fragrance. Really Bloody Wood. I can't wait to delve into it a little bit more. So this one, great for a cooler spring day or night, but if it warms up a bit, I felt the florals and the fruits truly shined in Bloody Wood. The opening is so interesting in this one. I kind of tend to reapply on this one, just because I feel like the introduction's a lot more interesting than the dry down, but I can't wait to delve into it a little bit more at number 12. At number 11, we're getting close to top 10, is from the house of Byredo. Now, Byredo's got a couple also that could have made this list. This is the only one on this list. It has a hell of a resume on my channel. You'll see it's been as high as number 2 on this list back in 2016. The lowest it has been in the past actually has been number 9 in 2018, and it's slipping a little bit this year at number 11, but this is Pulp. And I feel like this is the most challenging fruity scent that I've ever smelt in my life. It's beautiful though. The best season for it, I feel, is more summer. But I like some playful notes. I can't just be serious the whole time. And I feel like this one with the blackcurrant, the fig, among others, a great fruity scent up top throughout. I do have a full-fledged review on this one. It's one of the rare ones that does have a full-fledged review on my channel. I wear it mostly casually during the day. Pulp and I obviously have such a deep history. When I first smelt it, I was just blown away. It was my first Byredo fragrance back in the day, and I felt it was the best fruity fragrance that I've ever smelt. And I still, to this day, I still think that, and I still think this is the best from the house. It is the only one from them on this list, even though Bal d'Afrique is also a very good one that steals a little bit from Pulp, by the way. But playful, a little more playful, a little more uplifting. If I'm wearing maybe like a pastel colored shirt or something like that, or maybe a golf shirt, like a pink one or a yellow one, I'll wear something a little more bright and uplifting like Pulp. A good one, and probably one of the rare ones that has like a citric feel to the fragrance. Next, at number 10, so we're starting my top 10, dead or alive. Let's take a look at them. This is from the house of Armani. This is from their Armani Privé lineup. It was number 1 in 2018, last time I did this list, so it is the past number 1. So we're going to have a new number 1 this year. Yay. This one slipped, of course, 9 slots at number 10. Really a great scent. One of my favorites, figs. I got tons of great figs, but this one's really good. It's probably the most dressed up fig that I have in my collection. This is Figuier Eden, a 2012 release from Armani. Spring is the best time to wear this because it utilizes iris as a backing, and iris doesn't do very well in super hot heat, but the iris and the fig play well together. Daytime scent, and I dress this one up. I love it with a cooling suit, like a baby blue suit, or a yellow, or a pink. This fragrance just screams just upscale. It does. So going down from number 1 to number 10, maybe a little bit of a hit on Figuier Den, but talking about fig and a scent, Armani killed it here with the classiest fig in the game, pairing it with iris. The iris classes things up to this fig like tenfold, and in my mind, I always want to wear this one with a suit, even a tux. I catch myself wearing it casually from time to time, but I feel like this is one of those. If I had a smaller collection, this may be, if I'm a huge fig guy, this may be the one that I would wear for dressing up. It's watery, it's green, it's everything in between for a great fig-based scent. I usually don't really talk Armani, especially their lower stuff like Code and ADG, and I don't really talk positively about that brand, but this Privé lineup has some jewels in them, and this is one of them. Figuier Den, a star. At number 9, talking about previous number 1s on this list, this one right here is number 1 for me on this list in 2016, and actually fell off the face of the earth back in 2018, the last time I did this list, but back with a vengeance at number 9. It is from the Vagabond Prince, and this is Enchanted Forest. And you know how Pulp is a fun, playful fragrance. It utilizes blackcurrant just like this one. This one is blackcurrant centric. It's all about it's all about the blackcurrant, but it's done so well that it's such a standout. You got some fragrances that, like Vetiver from Dior, Vetiver, but it has a lot of good secondary notes that help it. This is that type of feel with the blackcurrant. I've never smelt anything like this before. Beautiful. Beautiful. If you like blackcurrant, it executes it to a T. One of my favorite fruity scents in the game. The purple hue of the bottle here kind of shows the color that's going to, it just shows you the bud of course, the fruity buds. But this fragrance also includes the branch that it's on and the leaf. It has some greens to it, and it does have some woody aspects to it. It's syrupy sweet, but it's very well done. It's very fruity, but it's not childish. It's showing all the great parts of one particular note here, and it did it flawlessly. Dish of Food is the nose behind this, one of my favorite noses of all time, and it shines. Casual fragrance for day or night. If I feel a little more playful at nighttime, I don't care. This one has some dark feeling to the fragrance that it works well, but it really works well in an overcast spring day. That's probably the best time to wear it. At number 7, of course, at number 9, sorry. At number 8, we have the brand of Nasomatto, and Nasomatto has a couple green scents that, a lot of people talk about the Baraondas and the Black Afghanos, Duros, and Pardon, but they step away from the absinthe and the Hindu grass, and absinthe and Hindu grass have made this list in the past. This one right here is Hindu grass, discontinued actually. Very sad to hear that it's been discontinued. It made the list. Last time I made this list was back in 2016 at number 19. But yeah, this is the chocolatey patchouli based scent. So if you feel interested in this fragrance, get it now. It's still available at certain places, but it is officially discontinued. It is one of the forgotten Nasomatto releases. Wow. This is a absolutely gorgeous patchouli. It is based on the hippie patchouli. I feel like it goes full throttle here. It has some woods back in it. It's got some tobacco back in it too. Very green, but it has some thickness to the fragrance. So this is more for cooler nights than anything. Hindu grass is definitely green, like the greenery behind me here. A little challenging, highly camphorous, which some patchoulis do, that give you that challenging feel to the fragrance. A solid one during a rainy day, overcast night, something like that. A great one at number 8. At number 7, this fragrance right here from Le Labo. Le Labo actually is very much, it's rare to see a Le Labo in my top 20 list, which is kind of a weird thing. Because I own several from the brand and I do like a lot of them. This one right here, a staple for me back in the day. It kind of brings me back because the last time this fragrance actually made a list was back in 2012 at number 11 on this list. And this is Rose 31. Welcome back to the list, Rose 31. It's been a while. Rose 31 kind of pulls a little bit from Elena's Rose Poivree. Kind of, they're not the same. Even though they utilize rose and cumin, they're not the same. I feel like this is a little more straight edge, this one. And the Rose Poivree is definitely has some pricks to it, we'll say. This one, yeah, very much cleaner as a scent. I feel like this one, I can dress it up and dress it down, but I like wearing it more casually. I feel like the Rose Poivree has the better rose note, and that is saying something because Rose 31 actually has a really good rose note. I really love my dirty rose of fragrances, and Le Labo pairs this rose with cumin and some darker notes, but it is very much smooth. Even though you're looking at the note breakdown, they smoothed it out real well, and they really emphasize the rose in this one, which is a great thing about this scent. It was actually my very first Le Labo purchase way back when in 2010, I believe I bought this one, and it is still one of my favorites from the brand to this day. Spring is its best season. This is where it shines, and it does well in the fall too, by the way. But yeah, Rose 31, a great one at number 7, and welcome back from your hiatus, we'll say. At number 6, this one did not take a hiatus. This thing is highly decorated. It's actually kind of low on this top 20 list, to be quite honest. It is from Mr. James Healy. He does a lot of great fragrances. Healy kind of reminds me a little bit of Elena without the edge. Elena likes to put a little bit of edge, a little bit of cumin, he loves utilizing his spices and kind of make fragrances a little more daring. Healy's more, he does his watercolors, does them well, just like Elena, I'm telling you. This one right here, I could go with several from the brand. I love this brand, but this is the only one that I absolutely love year after year. This is Menthe Fraiche. It was number 3 in 2018 when I last did this list, but it went as high as number 2 back in 2011. So Menthe Fraiche, what can I say? If you're on this channel, you've heard about this fragrance. It's made this list almost yearly. Strong returnee, I'll tell you that. It's highly decorated for good reason. It is my favorite mint in the game. Geranium pour Monsieur is giving its run for its money, I'll be honest, but this fragrance is so transparent, watery, green, well balanced with the secondary notes. The secondary notes actually emphasize the mint, putting it in the forefront, but really helping the mint go through its phases. The mint is highly natural here. It's one of those fragrances that's versatility is through the roof. I can't overspray this fragrance. I don't want to because I don't want to go. This is my second bottle actually of this fragrance, and I have the old school bottles, not the newer ones. So if your bottle looks different than mine, that's the reason why I got the older one. But this one right here, if you're just getting into mint, I highly recommend you to go check out my Menthe Fraiche fragrance review. Even though it's a very old fragrance review, I still feel the same way. I haven't changed my thoughts on this one. I think it's his pièce de résistance, to be quite honest. You can dress it up, dress it down. Cooler spring day, warmer spring day. Actually, it shines way more in the warmer spring days. It's one of those that I tend to overspray when going to work, and it doesn't really do anything because it doesn't overspray. It's one of those that I just want to swim in it. Menthe Fraiche, a great one at number 6. Now my top 5 dead or alive. We're going to start the top 5 with a Creed. This is part of the 3-headed Creed green monster that I call it, which is Sélection Verte, Green Valley, and Green Irish Tweed. We got 2 of those in my top 5. Spoiler alert. At number 5, it is Green Valley. Yes, discontinued. Best season for it, spring. I utilize this fragrance just like I utilize Green Irish Tweed. Green Valley actually always goes head to head versus GIT because it steals its sprays. It steals a lot from a lot of the great fragrances that Creed has. It utilizes the blackcurrant that's in Silver Mountain Water. It utilizes mint also from a Sélection Verte, which is part of the green-headed monster. I love wearing this during the day, casual use. In 2018, when I last did this list, it was number 5. It has been as high as number 1 on this list 2 years running in 2013 and 14. It hasn't slipped out of the top 5 since I've purchased this fragrance. It's a heavy hitter in this list. I love Green Valley, and I've been, wearing it sparingly because this is all I've got. I still got a lot, but I'm being careful with it. I utilize my GIT more than I utilize my Green Valley just because I want to conserve this one. But this one right here, and I get hate for adding discontinued fragrances in my lists, like this one. But why? I'm not here to sell you Green Valley. I'm not. I'm here to tell you the ones that stand out for me. It's my list during this season. Discontinued or not, Green Valley is a top 5 spring scent since the day I bought it. It stole some pumps from GIT, so it deserves to be on the list. If you're a collector like me and you really do want to get Green Valley, I'm going to review it. I'm going to give it its just due, and I think it's a great, great scent. So a collector like me, if you got the same nose as me and you send me a DM, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to say, hey, I found Green Valley, $400 USD. It's up to you, but I'd pull the trigger as a collector. I love it. So Green Valley, beautiful, beautiful green scent. The mint does well. The blackcurrant does well. It's a very lush, very green, well done. My green fix is met with Green Valley here at number 5. At number 4, also, highly decorated fragrance from the House of Geranium. This is from their L'Art et la Matière. Also a discontinued fragrance. It is Iris Ganache. Look at that beautiful brown juice. Iris Ganache, Irish-based fragrance, of course, in the name, Iris Ganache. It really is gourmandy. It has some thickness to the fragrance. I can smell that Geranium vanilla already. The best season for it is spring. I love wearing this in the spring. I wear it during the day. But as much as Figuier Eden is probably the classiest scent in this list, beside Invasion Barbare, Viking also has some classiness to it. Iris Ganache has them beat, in my opinion, because I do have a sweet tooth, and I love the Guerlain DNA from L'Art et la Matière, the vanilla. They emphasize that vanilla to a lot of their fragrances, and it does here. It gives that ganache feel to the fragrance. Very beautifully blended fragrance. It really throws out the iris too. It is discontinued, but it is a great example of what L'Art et la Matière line can do. It steals a lot of the sweet parts, but it stays very smooth, like a lot of them. Cuir Beluga is very smooth also, and it's classy with the iris. It has that white chocolate feel like Coromandel from Chanel has. It really does have that. Gourmand, buttery, smooth. It goes very well with a white suit or a white button down like this. Iris Ganache will work. Great scent from the House of Geranium. At number 3 from the House of Creed, this is the most decorated fragrance in this list. There is no fragrance that has made my niche top 20 or top 10 list over the years more than this fragrance. It was actually number 1. It started the thing in 2010 and hasn't stopped since 2018, where it slotted in at number 2. It has been number 1 for multiple years. Hasn't really slotted, actually it's never slotted away from the top 5. Tells you a lot about this fragrance. This is Green Irish Tweed from the House of Creed. It smells exactly like my background here. 1985. And there's got to be something to say that a fragrance like this, built in the 80s, is still kicking ass in 2020. At least in my opinion. Best season for it, spring. The lemon verbena, amazing. Violet, awesome. Dress it up, dress it down. The most decorated scent for a reason. The only way scents can really leapfrog this, because this smells like spring in a bottle, is if they're unique or they have some complexity, but really it's uniqueness that can really beat out GIT, because GIT is spring in a bottle. And number 2 and number 1, I'll tell you right now, as far as uniqueness goes, they're not going to disappoint. So if you like unique scents, and you're a subscriber of mine, you probably do like unique scents, so you'll want to keep it tuned in. But this thing is green, it's luscious. I don't really have to describe GIT. Everybody knows you can dress it up, dress it down. Rain or shine, doesn't matter. This is one of those fragrances that really is versatile. The versatility is through the roof, and because it's such an old fragrance, since '85 and still kicking and doing well, I'm always going to have a bottle of GIT in my collection. That is one thing that I will guarantee you. This is a great fragrance. The black bottle, always a treat to wear during spring. And number 2, ooh, talking about uniqueness, let's take a look at the House of Slumber House. Now, this fragrance did not make the list back in 2018. The last time I've put this in a list was back in 2016, and it made it at number 5. It made it as high as number 2 back in 2014. This is Pear and Olive. Now, Pear and Olive, and maybe if you're new to this channel and you're like, Pear and Olives, I don't know about that. Now, I'm conserving this because I don't have too much juice of this stuff, and it's very hard to find. Josh from Slumber House, bless his heart, love the guy. Makes amazing sense, but us, his clientele, you got to snatch it up when he releases them, and you got to snatch them up real quick. Pear and Olive, sadly, hard to find. Hopefully he re-releases it, but best season for it, definitely spring. Bigger notes, of course, pear and olive. It really is. Dress it up or casual. I like to wear this one casually, to be honest, but it is one of the houses that Slumber House is great for darker scents. That's what they're known for me. Usually brands like that really excel in winter and fall scents kind of fall flat for spring and summer, and Josh did his thing here. This is unique as hell. He killed this. The one thing I really appreciate from Pear and Olive here is there's nothing, absolutely nothing on the market that smells like this. And that's what I love. The beautiful pear note, which is absolutely outstanding. I think this is the best pear note I've smelt in my journey. No joke, stands on its own. So if he took the weird, crazy olive part, take it out, and this would be just a straight up pear fragrance, I'd still buy it for the price he's asking. On its own, it's simply outstanding. However, now that you add like that oily olive note, it's unique and crazy. It's green, it's aromatic, it's very much balsamic. It's leafy green, almost kind of tropical take here. Very much an artistic scent. Highly wearable. A standout that I'm running very low on. I'm kind of, I just wasted a spray on this thing. Crap. But this stuff, if you're a fan of Josh's stuff and he ever re-releases this, get it. 100% worth it. Now at number 1. Never been number 1 on my list ever. It made the last list at number 7 back in 2018. Obviously I didn't have a list in 2019. So it goes from 7 to number 1. And as you can see, a lot of my staples continue to be staples. This one right here, in its first appearance, made it top 10 in 2018. Great job. This one right here called Burning Barbershop from DS and Durga. And this is my very first purchase from the brand. And it's a brand, obviously, that I need to delve more into. I know a few that I want to get from DS and Durga, but this one was the standout to me. And this one right here, the big notes in this fragrance is, of course, lavender and mint. I mean, it really is what it states on the bottle. It is a barbershop, and all the smells that you think of when you go into a barbershop, like the mint, the lime, the lavender, things like that. Oh, I'm smelling it now. Obviously, the smoke's huge on here, but I'm going to get into that. More of a daily wear scent, but I love wearing it, of course, for overcast and stuff. Wear it more casually than anything. I'm not going to dress this one up, but first and foremost, congratulations, DS and Durga, as being number 1 on this list this year. Burning Barbershop is outstanding. The scent balances the gentleman feel that I get from an Invasion Barbare, we'll say, with a barbershop feel with some heavy lavender here, but it pairs it with even more barbershop-like scents like mint, lime, and then they set this shit on fire. Basically, it's freshness that's swallowed up with smoke. It's artistic, but it excites me, as without the smoke, this scent would just be a great barbershop scent. Now, it would make the list without the smoke. I think I think the barbershop appeal to it was really well done, well constructed, kind of boring. I'm not a huge barbershop guy, even though I got a few in this list. But the smoke gives it some oomph for someone like me that's kind of like, winter's done, all my heavy hitters, kind of got to put them away. Can't really wear them during the spring. This makes me enjoy my smoky scents. It just has that, it engulfs it with smoke, but just enough that it has that uplifting feel to the fragrance. I really love the way this one was composed. I can still get my smoky kick, but it's not super dark. I love it. This is my first DS and Durga bottle. And because of the strength of this release, I am looking at others now. There's a couple that are on my to-buy list, to be quite frank with you guys. So a great release from DS and Durga. If you haven't checked out this brand, please do. This is what niche is all about. This is what I love about it. This one right here, a banger, DS and Durga, Burning Barbershop. Check it out. If you have the same nose as me, #1, congratulations to DS and Durga. As always, thank you so much for your time. This has probably went too long. Please let us know your niche releases for 2020 that you've been wearing. Maybe something for me to discover. Again, I could have made a top 50 on this list. I would love to let you guys know what I wear, but that would be a little too much. I can't wear more than 50 cents, of course, in a season, especially spring and designer. So I got to cut it down to 20, I think is a good number. And we have a little bit of everything for everybody as a niche head. There's some that are easy to wear, a little more daring, some fruity, some floral, obviously some barbershop here, some great scents in my personal opinion. I can't wait to wear all these. I've worn all of them at least once this year for spring, and I'm going to continue to wear them. So let me know in the comments below what you've been wearing. Maybe get some recommendations for yours truly. I always like to have recommendations, especially in a season like spring and summer, those kind of seasons. I like to see maybe some different ones. But thank you so much for the support, and definitely the return of seasonal based scents list on my channel. So if you are also a designer head, keep it tuned in, because the designer one, I am building it as we speak. Thanks for watching YouTube. Have a good one.